What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Schmoedown replay. And I don't know when I did that with the song because my headphones decided to take forever to connect. Anyway, guys, we're the Cinefanatics. My name's Chris Adams.
My name's Robert Adams. And this, real quick, was the star. Oh, there she goes. Was the star of the tagline tonight. That
Unseen.
was the cat, Lola.
Unseen.
She just took off, and apparently she'll be the unseen star this time, too. What a diva.
Oh, what a diva. Yeah, it's a speaking of divas, you know what match we're looking at today?
Oh, yeah. We got Paul Oyama versus Jeff Sneider. It's the rematch. And here's the I love the fact that we got a rematch in the middle of the singles tournament. This is fantastic. This is the type of rematch. And if there was a belt on the line, this would be better. But this is a type of rematch that would work great at a live event again. But
I mean, yeah, because the first one was at a live event.
Yeah. I would love to see this rematch at a live event, but instead we get this rematch just in the middle of regular tournament season, which is fantastic.
We're expecting some pretty good ones out of this because we saw what happened the first time around where, Paul had the belt, kept the belt, and Sneider wanted the belt, didn't get the belt. Snyder's hungry though. He's ready for some revenge.
I'm hungry too.
Nice. Well said. He's ready for some revenge. He knows that Paul beat him last time. He understands that that Paul outplayed him last time, but he knows that maybe, just maybe, he can outplay Paul this time. So I think there's a lot going in on this one. I mean, you're also going to come down to it's Swag versus the Rock Stars again, and we've seen some back and forth between Winston and Roxy, and Winston trying to hand Roxy literally an L, which for you guys to look like that. And then just how that maybe do it the other hand. Yeah. Just how that worked out. We might see that kind of come back into play again. That looks perfect there. Keep it there.
Name that song.
Noel?
No. It's from Shrek. It's actually from Mystery Men, but they did it in Shrek also.
Now I'm a Believer.
No.
Walking on the Sun.
No. Here's the thing. He actually knows that he's just not saying it because we have to keep that kind of movie trivia knowledge hidden because we are participating in the Last General Standing presented by Call to Action podcast this Friday, September 25th at a time that I think is going to be like 8 p.m. Central Time, I believe. Anyways, we will be participating in that. It's going to be a free-for-all with Call to Action and all the generals of the Action Army. So make sure you go over there and hop on their Patreon so you can be a part of that as well. And then you could also lose to both me and my brother.
I love how you're promoting that right before we actually play along to this match.
No
pressure. No pressure. You got to show off now.
Oh, no. There might be a chance, maybe, just maybe, I might not answer questions just to hide some potential strengths. Or I could be a person with integrity and just play it and not know the answer. Do you know which one? Because I do.
It's way too late for all of that. We've been operating this channel for like 2 years doing this.
Yeah.
It's way too late for all of that. Anyway, I'm pretty excited here because, we got Paul Oyama. He is a past champion, has held the belt before. Jeff Sneider is looking to hold that singles belt. It has escaped him so many times. And so this is going to be I say this a lot because you look at the level of competition that we've had in this tournament so far. This easily could be one of the matches of the year as well if both players are coming to play and they play their hearts out in this game.
Yeah.
And we've had, look at the match from yesterday. Bibbs had a perfect match, like the first ever legitimate perfect match in singles competition. So this year is a year of potential matches of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready to see, does Sneider overcome? Does he get his revenge, or does Paul continue to show his dominance, I guess.
Who do you think is going to win this?
Here's the thing: we've had Sneider on the replay. We have not yet had Paul on the replay, and that's right. We're not bringing him on right now. It's just the two of us tonight. I'm still going to go with Paul edging Sneider out just a little bit.
I was to say, now let's keep in mind that Paul still helped us out by helping us with the idea of reacting to my match. So we do like Paul Oyama on this channel. He's a fantastic person. But so is Jeff Sneider. So I don't know. This ambiguity at its best. Who knows?
Rockstars could easily use some wins here. So there's that side. There's the underdog side that you want to see all the factions rise up and compete with each other. So you don't know who's going to take it by the end of the year. But at the same time, I love Winston. He is doing such a good job with his faction.
By the way, I mentioned a certain match.
The rule is if he mentions his match, you got to take a drink.
So also, before we get this started, anyone who's watching, y'all have any questions, comments, make sure you send those over to the streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. That is the appropriate place for all questions and comments that, well, not all comments. You can put comments in the chat too, because we want to interact. But any questions, that's a good place for them. Super chat's okay too, but Streamlabs is much preferred. Also, don't forget patreon.com/cinefanatics for all your patronage of the Cinefanatics. Oh, hi Lola. Welcome back. That little noise maker. Anyways, yeah, patreon.com/cinefanatics. Fun stuff to be had over there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, please, again, keep in mind, we have not, she is messing with my light. And there she goes down the hole. I love when she does that. She looks like the groundhog from Caddyshack, like, I'm all right. Dives in. Anyways, keep in mind that we have not watched this match yet. So please do not spoil this match. If you want to spoil this match, though, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics for all your match spoiling needs.
There you go. Let's get into it. Oh, that's loud. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. There we go.
Let's also, let's take that off.
We want to be able to see it.
I'm going to get, like, the shot of Beavis and Butthead, like, head banging to this music.
Right?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
And I say that knowing full well that, like, in our YouTube comments, someone has mentioned that we look like Beavis and Butthead at some point.
We are blazing through this second round. And as we get to second round matches, Mark Ellis, you get these marquee matchups. And this is the thing with the
we both can't be Butthead,
era that the Schmoedown is in. You guys have been getting
Shut up.
prime time matches in this digital age. This match that you're about to see, this was a main event in New York in front of a sold out.
Oh yeah, we're live right now
for the championship back last August. Mark Ellis.
Yeah, this
Red
thing
cat
sold
butt.
tickets and we sold it out.
Must highlight that comment.
Pictures with us, and none of that stuff is legal now.
It's not like regular cat butt. It's red cat butt.
My partner is right. It is a marquee event, as in Mark, and this is a key event. Why? Because the winner.
Well done, Mark Ellis.
And the winner is gonna have to earn it, Christian.
That is some masterful turning of phrases.
That man constantly impresses me.
The Sneider, whose internet is gonna work better? We'll figure it out. I think this one.
Hopefully ours.
The proverbial wire.
Right?
Well, the first matchup certainly did.
Speaking of which,
5 rounds. It went to sudden death.
We do have storms heading towards us.
Oyama, who was the champion at the time, eked out that victory and defended the championship.
I think we'll be fine
Against Jeff Sneider.
Apparently, there's a tropical storm or something in the Gulf of Mexico.
Twice. He's
oh yeah, I think we're okay.
He was that close. That was his first and only shot at the movie trivia Schmoedown.
We're usually always okay,
and it just slipped through his fingers.
Texas is a big state.
Thing that will not be happening today, that happened in New York, is that I've said it many times over.
We never see a hurricane here in Central Texas.
At the time was the only competitor that could get the audience to cheer for Jeff Sneider. It is a different time. It is a different.
That's the other point too that he's bringing up there is that Paul Oyama was a heel back at that time, and people were cheering on Sneider at that live event.
And Jeff Sneider, to his credit, has never changed.
It's flipped. It's back the other way around now. I mean, if this was a live event, people would be cheering for Paul Oyama at this point.
Or anybody who would mention.
People like individuals like Garth would probably still be cheering for Sneider just because of the Boston connection there. But
polarizing
Boston
we've ever seen on backstage.
I don't know what accent that was. That was not
He's
Boston.
got that smart pot.
Versus old
you got the smart pot.
see it all the time in sports. You have a team that's going to be running the Wildcat, the West Coast offense, the option.
By the way, y'all, we are about to hit 1,400 subscribers. We are 3 away from 1,400 subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already. Let's hit that 14 by the end of this stream. Is that possible? Who knows? We're still early in our YouTube career, so I don't know how quickly subscribers come. But
and those are fun matchups for you.
Help us get to 2K.
Fans are the real winner here because today's matchup is going to be a treat. A little bit of trash talk
by first helping us get to 1.4K.
By the way, we just hit over 200 followers on Twitter at Cinefanatics MLP. So thank y'all for that. We hit 200.
That Winston gave Roxy not too long ago. The L.
All of you out there who love us. First question, why? Second question,
all of that and more.
Why?
Showing how we got
third
here today
statement.
Is in
thank
this
you
promo.
so much. We appreciate you.
You're like, third question, why?
Third question, why?
So Mike Kalinowski
There we go.
will play Jeff the Insnider Sneider in this #1 contender match.
Somebody's getting a trip to New York book as soon as this match is over.
Oh no.
And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, the Insnider, Jeff Sneider.
After being in this league since season 3,
I think that was the was that the Kalinowski
is Paul Oyama. He is still not lost. He is the youngest champion
Flash
this league has ever seen.
Yeah.
And your winner, and still.
You know what? I'm going to see Paul Oyama again. I'm a Fife. I'm pretty confident in that.
And we're going to kick the living crap out of him.
I'm coming for you, Oyama.
I heard you want to release the Sneider cut.
yes.
Well, guess what? We're gonna cut Sneider.
Hi, Paul. Paul, you know, you've done good in the past. You got us. You did. Not this time, honey.
I'm just eager to show what I can do and put him in his place like I should have the first time. I would have won the championship had I bet a 0 instead of a 1 point on a Harry Potter question.
Right.
One could also say that if a fan in the crowd doesn't yell something out, I win via TKO.
This singles tournament offers me a chance
That's right,
of
that
redemption.
did happen.
You've been asking for me for months. All I gotta say is, be careful what you wish for.
I don't like the mustache.
The rock stars have found their way to Upset City.
Winston, I've been holding on to something for you. I think it's time that I return you this L.
You can do what you want, but time always marches on. Sounds a lot like prime time in the singles tournament.
I'm ready to throw you the ass kicking that you deserve at any time, and I wanted to do it in front of my big backyard to hold your small body that I'll be burying somewhere back there.
Oyama has already dealt with a two-faced person of justice.
Movie trivia, guys.
before, and now he'll deal with you, Batman out.
That was amazing.
So real quick, going into these, if you want to pause it for just a second, let's knock out some of these. Brandon Hannah's asking, how many cameras do we have in our house? If you're not counting the webcams that are attached to our computers, like actual and not including our phones, we have, how many do we have?
Oh, are we counting the ones that we're using or have been decommissioned at this point?
Essentially, like an actual like DSLR type of, like, because I know I'm on one right now. I'm on my camera here, not my computer anymore. I started this on my webcam, but now I'm actually on my DSLR.
I got my Nikon that I don't use anymore, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got your Nikon, and then you have your two other Lumixes, and then you still have the G7 too, also.
Yeah, so I got 4. Then you got 5.
Yeah.
So
that's like 5 DSLRs.
I don't know if this was a serious question, to be honest.
Any clue about Eddie Wilson? I'm not certain on that. I don't know.
It's a very general name.
Yeah, feel free to let us know on that one. So, anyways,
yep. Anyway,
you can play.
Okay, starting back up. Here we go.
Look, it's an epic match, and like you said, it's the back and forth between both of the managers. But Jeff Sneider said it last week, or when he won his first matchup against Robert Montano, was that he wants Oyama. He wants to avenge his loss to Oyama. He wants to beat this kid. He wants to beat him bad. He wants to show him. And that's that kind of Sneider. When that kind of Sneider is hungry, it's usually a very dangerous Jeff Sneider. But Oyama right now is playing some good ball. So,
yeah, so that's because this one actually owns a video production business here. So apparently to do video production, it requires you have cameras.
Only because he's gotten a lot of reps recently, both individuals, teams.
By the way, if anyone wants video production work based out of Austin, Texas, make sure to hit him up.
Who has the championship medal, if not necessarily the matches to back it up. In this season,
Eddie and the Cruisers.
That's
Okay,
going to be a different story, and it's certainly going to be a different.
I'm going to guess that the Eddie Wilson is the Eddie from Eddie and the Cruisers.
Eddie guard, he's setting his way, his advantage, or will Paul Oyama and the new leader
like a turd in the wind
over to yet another matchup in this tournament?
All right. Well, the first things we're going to find out is exactly how Roxy Stryer, you're talking about revenge and avenging that loss. It did not sit well with her at all, and she's been looking to get Winston Marshall back, and this is a way to do it if Jeff Sneider could beat Oyama here today. So Roxy Stryer from the Rock Stars and Winston Marshall from the Red Hot Swag, first place Swag.
The Red Hot Swaggy Peppers.
Is this thing on? Hello?
It's on. It's working. So let me.
Who is this?
Oh
My goodness! Who is this young lady out here dressed like that? Okay, well I see you, Miss Thang. Hello. What's your name is?
I am Miss Thang. Thank you very much. What are you?
Well, first of all, you best respect your elders, young miss. My name is Old Winston. What you know about that?
Old Winston.
Over the hill, Winston. All right. It should be pretty easy today then. Thank you for making this so much nicer.
Do I know you from somewhere?
Back and forth improv class here. Yes, and the key to that. If I may start with Winston Marshall. Winston, Christian mentioned it.
Winston reminds me, if y'all have ever watched what's it, Good Eats on Food Network, Alton Brown, there was a couple of times he did episodes where he would show how to cook like Southern food, and he would do the persona of like a Southern gentleman, like how to make like chicken fried steak or a mint julep or something. That's exactly the type of character that Winston's doing right here.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm hungry. I want food.
You mean like I be getting on my 401k?
So everything reminds me of
his glasses are broken.
Young boy right here, this prime time. Okay. He's had a wonderful season so far. With 3 victories with the final exam. He already went and beat his first opponent in this tournament. So now he just got to come and beat this dude he already beat the brakes off of last year. So I'm very excited about that. And I do recognize this young lady. This is the young lady that lost in the play-in match of the Star Wars tournament, right? No, that's not her. This is the young lady that received that nice letter L from that dapper young gentleman a few months ago. I remember that. He was like, "You accept this L," and then she had to sit up with an egg on her face. I remember that.
Somebody's head is not in this game. Good. I'm glad you're reliving your glory days that are so far behind you that you're not even paying attention to the match today, Winston. Yes, I've been holding on to that L for a little bit, and I am more than happy to give it back to you today, right now.
It's a good tactic as far as like on camera goes.
You really think is going to happen? Last time I checked, Rock, you've been riding the back of the pack for a while. You were the one with the most promise. You were the one that was going to come in here and do work. And everybody behind you, Alex Damon, was going to take over the Inner Geekdom tournament. So before we go and strip you of your Star Wars belt, we're going to beat you in this tournament real quick, and we're going to keep it pushing. So is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Winston!
Let's see what your child can do today, because I'm pretty sure that the other couple are amazing and proven. And today is going to prove exactly why.
Somebody needs to get some drip on that burn.
He's an okay kid. I like him just fine, but it's not
Put
today.
that burn out.
All right. Well, you've talked yourself into bigger delusions of grandeur before, but that's fine. I'm okay with the little chihuahua in the back of the pack trying to come up with the big dogs. Ain't that right, Sherry? She sleeps. She don't need to even deal with you right now.
Somebody bust out the hose. That man's on fire.
A little bit when you're crying, holding that L. It's okay. At least you've got your dog.
Do you still have it? Because if you do, I'm more than happy. If you don't, I can make you another one. It's totally fine.
Not necessary. Thank you so much, though, for your generosity, honey.
No worries.
Christian, you're on mute.
You're muted, sir. So I'm just going to ask you a question with the managers here. Are these two married? Have they been married?
Look at Molly back there.
Any intel on that?
No, not sure, but it's certainly
Look at
working
Molly.
out well. Listen,
Roxy's trying hard not to laugh at that.
Yeah.
They're both trying hard not to laugh.
Here. Roxy Stryer really.
They put them in the background now. That I bet they're laughing their tails off.
To the rock stars, and they need it.
The fact that Molly could sleep throughout all of that
on
is just
top,
amazing.
and obviously, losing Paul Oyama would be
Absolutely.
Right now, but
I loved that.
Really need this.
That was fantastic.
Once again,
Mark, are you ready?
Winston's exactly where he needs to be.
Woke her up, and she hasn't acknowledged me in 3 weeks. I am prepared. Let's get this match on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia.
Oh my gosh.
Schmoedown.
I'm in it now. That was fantastic.
Introducing first, representing the rock star.
Now that I'm in it, Eddie Wilson's from Eddie and the Cruisers.
Oh,
wins.
Yeah, I knew that.
How did you know that?
He is the
Oh, look, they knew it too. That's crazy.
Movie trivia Schmoedown.
Yep.
Teams champion of the world, the Sneider, Jeff Sneider.
This is also a duel between like the two best themes in the
Nice to have you back,
for the factions.
Look at you. I don't even know.
Oh wait, no, it's Oyama's theme,
helmet or whatever that thing was last week. This is something
which his is also fantastic.
Jersey, I believe that's what you walk around your house with. I believe you.
By the way, make sure you all check out Skybound's store for all your Schmoedown theme music needs.
That you're running with that.
Well, I keep wording everything like that.
Have some revenge.
All your
Not
needs.
bad enough to prep for it. I didn't prep. What are you talking about?
All right.
Yeah, big shout out to David B.
Do you want? So you don't care if you beat Oyama? If he beat you twice, you'd be able to sit with that pretty well.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got Jeff Sneider here for all of your chest hair needs.
I'm gonna get my revenge.
All your boss and chest hair needs.
Do a little bit better than
All right. Well, far be it from
That's a glorious man right there.
Anyone else? But I will ask you, Jeff. There's been a raging debate in the Facebook Schmoedown group recently, just about is Jeff Sneider a relic of a bygone era, or are his best days?
What is the thought process that goes through a individual's head to go, you know what? I'm about to be on camera.
Think that
I'm going to take my shirt off and throw a Celtics jacket over me.
I do. I still have a lot.
There's not a whole lot of thought there.
Singles belt. I want all
That's
the belts. I'll come for Inner Geekdom too. I'll watch.
You got to save
Sneider.
the room for the movie knowledge. I know.
A relic from
no, that's just Jeff Sneider. That's there's no thought there. That's just who he is. He's ready for it.
He got lucky in New York.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that was just what he put on when he woke up that morning.
Well, Jeff Sneider, two-time teams champion, ready.
He's just ready for it.
Oyama and his opponent, representing.
I love Oyama's theme. I do.
With a record of 7 wins.
It's so good.
2 defeats and 1 knockout. He is the former movie.
I would just listen to this on its own, honestly.
Champion of the world, prime time, Paul Oyama. Prime time, Paul Oyama. Paul, you've been playing a lot this season, man. You had your match against.
Seriously, I just need like a playlist of all of them while I'm driving to work.
Final exam. You know, there was only really one match that I can rewind, and I'd say it was a couple of weeks ago against Shazam, where there were a couple. Maybe you didn't play the game as well as you thought you could, and then you came back, you played Marisol
yeah.
and had an excellent
If I'm ever
game.
like going, if we ever go to Hawaii, I'm listening to the song on the airplane while looking out at Hawaii as we're landing.
Yeah.
It's totally different. I think that there's not really much.
That's the thing. I don't actually have like songs that I land listening to. I have songs that I listen to as the plane's taking off to kind of help me. Like I'm in an airplane. I'm in a giant metal tube that's going up in the air. I don't like this, so I got the songs to help calm me down and help center me. Usually by the time the plane's landing, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to be on ground now.
Yeah.
Paul, Joe was having some fun at your youth.
Unless we're traveling to LA and the captain announces that there was an earthquake like literally 30 minutes before we landed.
That was funny.
And you probably watched.
Was that summer last year? Yeah.
Matches as a fan. So before you were actually in the movie Trivia Schmoedown competing, were you a fan of Jeff Sneider? Did he
either that or Spectacular.
Somebody that you would root for in the league?
No, that was summer last year.
Player, I think,
because they had the earthquake like a couple of days before we left, and I was at work when that happened, and I remember like all of my coworkers were reading. I was like, "Well, this looks good."
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
We also drove to Spectacular.
Paul Oyama bringing back Jeff Sneider, bringing back Paul Oyama. The competitors have entered the virtual battlefield mark. Round number 1 about to begin. How's it go?
Round number 1 about to begin. The Battle of New York Redux, and it's a lot cheaper as far as airline tickets go. In round number 1,
airline tickets are extremely cheap right now.
From 8 different corners of movie trivia Schmoedown.
Yeah.
Each question is worth 1.
But there's nowhere to go.
There is no stealing, at least not in round number 1. As soon as we ask the question, you have 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer.
Isn't that the way the world works? I mean,
on whatever writing surface you prefer. Once we ask you by name or nickname, please show what you wrote to the camera.
I mean, we could fly to LA, but there's nothing to attend.
Each competitor,
we can go to Philippe's. I'm in the mood for a French dip sandwich.
If you're not sure, you heard a question.
Look, the airline tickets might actually be cheap enough just to fly to LA for a French dip sandwich.
The sandwich may actually be more expensive than the flight to LA. The sandwich is so worth it.
The mask I have to wear on my face while I'm on the plane might be more expensive than the airline ticket.
About to begin.
All right, we start with Paul Oyama. Are you ready?
Set your clocks. Let's do this.
Jeff Sneider, are you ready?
Yes.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown.
Schmoedown.
Round number 1.
But I'm not ready yet. Oh, now I'm ready.
Adventure. Jason Statham first appeared as Frank Martin, a highly skilled driver / mercenary in what 2002 action film?
I'm sure.
Once again, I have no idea where the center of the board is.
You just answered my question.
Just write small like me.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Then it's not a problem.
Pens down, please. Starting with Paul Oyama.
The Transporter.
Yes, Jeff.
The Transporter.
Yes, it is.
Transporter. Le Transporter.
Jason Statham impression happening in 10 seconds. Your next question is in the world of the 1980s, and your query: Danny DeVito, Billy Crystal, and Anne Ramsey all appear in what 1987 dark comedy that was inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, Christian, what does Jason Statham think about LA pizza?
It's just tomato and cheese, you know what I mean?
Nice.
And
I don't know.
5, 4.
Your smile.
Yeah, I'm not certain on this one.
Pens down, please. And Jeff Sneider.
Throw Mama from the train.
That's right.
Are you kidding me?
Throw Mama from the train.
Look, I'm just going to write it down next time.
That's our next question. This is number 3, and it is in the
that's literally what was in my head.
Who plays the character of Tom
That was
Mullen, whose son is kidnapped at a science fair in Central Park in 1996's Ransom?
I should have gotten that. Throw Mama from the train.
I watched that movie constantly.
So this one, we discussed this gentleman on the tagline earlier.
4,
Oh, shoot.
3,
I'm just kidding.
2.
Because he's making a sequel to Passion of the Christ.
Whose name Jeff doesn't like to say? Mel Gibson.
Yes. And Jeff Sneider?
Jimmy Shaker Day, Mel Gibson.
Yes, Mel Gibson.
Is today Jimmy Shaker Day? Yeah.
Melly Mel.
Yeah, that's right, Christian. It's in the category of new releases.
Give me back my son!
And yes, there were movies in theaters back then.
I don't have a son, by the way.
Who plays Sharon
You just scared
Tate
your cat.
in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
How many times have you seen this movie?
I've seen it twice. I was stopped at a light, and they were filming a scene in it.
Wow, I just really smeared that up.
So they wouldn't get my
I do like writing my own name on my whiteboard.
2.
You really need to not give hints.
Jeff?
Margot Robbie.
And Paul.
The nom should have been for this, Margot Robbie.
Look, I know I'm smart enough to be able to get the answers to these questions, but seriously.
And this is
Yeah.
number 5. Fantasy sci-fi. Who plays the female lead, Cora, in 2010's Tron Legacy?
Yeah.
I know our own PJ Campbell very high on. Is it Brooklyn
Not
Pizza Wagon?
Oh, dude, it's Pizza Wagon.
You don't know?
And I've had it many times. It's delicious.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
Really?
5. Although Prince Street's coming. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Paul Oyama.
Olivia Wilde.
Yes, Jeff.
Oh.
Olivia Wilde.
Both have not missed, and it is 5-5 as we get
Olivia
to
Wilde.
the 6th question mark.
3 questions left, and if they continue to ace this exam, they will be asked a bonus question. We're not there yet. Where we are is the world of comedies.
Funny that we're at this point.
George Newman, a daydreamer with a hyperactive imagination that is put in charge of his uncle's TV station in what 1989 comedy?
All right. And
Yes.
And
boy, do I love this.
I see.
I know you do too.
I see the cover.
2, 1, and we start with Jeff.
UHF, yeah.
You got it. And
Dang it.
Paul?
UHF.
There you are correct. So,
UHF.
I would have gotten it if someone did a JTE.
number 7. What was the subtitle? This is horror thriller. What was the subtitle for the 2018 sequel to The Strangers?
Man, I did my impression of this movie once. I can't do it again. It scares me.
I remember when you did that. 5, 4, 3.
I'm not certain on this one.
Repeat the question.
First one. What was the subtitle for the 2018 sequel to The Strangers? Jeff Sneider using 1 JT.
Thanks, Garth.
So 4, Paul Oyama.
Just one letter off.
You're killing time because you haven't watched The Thing yet. Is that right, Christian?
Well, 5.
I can't remember.
4, 3, 2.
Horror
1.
movies.
Hands down, and Paul Oyama.
The Strangers Pray at Night.
Oh yeah, I'm wrong.
I totally would have gotten that one.
Didn't have it. All right. So
I said The Strangers. They came home.
now he has an opportunity to get to 8.
I mean, I think
and
that
a
works too.
perfect game and a bonus question for him and only him if he hits this last one here, Mark.
That's right. So it could be a 2-point advantage for Paul, but we'll get there. In the meantime, we have to cross the bridge known as your last round 1 question in the world of animated movies. Could be drawn by hand on a computer. Your question. Will Smith, Jack Black, and Robert De Niro lent their voices to what 2004 DreamWorks film?
Now remember that Paul Oyama's working on a perfect round here. Snyder's missing that.
There's a couple.
We'll find out in just a moment.
There's one.
Seen it play in the tournament before.
Happens. 5, 4, 3.
I think I'm wrong on this.
1. Pens down, please. And we start
I think I'm right.
with Jeff Sneider.
Shark Tale.
Yeah.
Is correct. And
That's the other one. I was trying to think of that one.
Shark Tale.
perfect round for Paul
Shark
Oyama.
Tale.
So Paul Oyama's gonna
I was thinking Osmosis Jones, but I think that was Chris Rock, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's Chris Rock.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Here it is. Jack Lemmon plays Felix Unger, and Walter Matthau
Odd
plays
Couple.
Oscar Madison. In what 1968 comedy?
The Odd Couple.
That is correct.
That's a nice little flight there. Against Jeff Sneider. That's a nice little jab.
All right. Having a blast. All right.
Okay.
So
Okay. That's a good
all right.
way to start.
It's round two.
And
It's
let's see how
round
round 2 does.
The rules of round 2.
The rules of round number 2 are as follows.
That was awesome.
The wheel round, the wheel of fate, doom, and justice. Can't bring a wheel to you. because
Yeah.
the wheel is elsewhere, and I don't know just as
Yeah.
So it's first of all, really get it off your mind once you settle on
That was
the
pretty funny.
category.
I always get Odd Couple and
Four questions,
Grumpy Old Men mixed up.
genre,
Which Grumpy Old Men,
questions.
Grumpy Old Men was like much later, right?
But keep in
Yeah.
mind, stealing
Yeah.
is available. In
Grumpy Old Man was the 90s.
Questions worth 2 points.
That
If you're
darn
not
Walter
sure, you
Matthau.
can ask us
For all intents and purposes, Grumpy Old Men is the older version of Odd Couple.
Let's go down
Yeah.
to 1. Christian, Jeff Sneider, very solid round number 1, but
that's still pretty funny.
Getting that odd question gives him a 2-point lead. So he has the first decision.
Like I said, it's a matter of how much luck comes to this game. Luck for knowing the question, or luck for just being comedic timing.
And Jeff,
that's a
Winston,
but I mean that's a great situation for Paul because like while he's already got the perfect round,
look at that perfect round, baby.
that's the
I can't think of anything
that
more
little
serendipitous
moment
than
actually
getting-
helps boost your confidence. And you're like, all right, this match is going my way.
If you're the type of person that's like, hey, I wonder if luck is on my side. Yes,
It's fine.
luck is on your side.
It is true though. I mean, it's only a 2-point difference right now, so let's see how the rest of this match plays out. But that's definitely a good like confidence boosting moment for Oyama there.
All right. So we're going to remove them, bring back Jeff and Roxy. Roxy has 60 seconds.
Now that's also a situation that could get to Sneider, but
frustrating to get for the strangers prey.
he also
it doesn't
could just
matter.
not let it get
doesn't
to him.
matter. It's 2 points. It literally doesn't matter at all. But,
Two-point
but Jeff, that's the last you're mentioning that goes away right now, because it doesn't matter.
Let's spin this wheel.
Let's spin this freaking wheel and see how it is. 100%. We have to beat them right now. Winston is
There you go. Roxy is good at the game. She knows how the game is played. She is appropriately managing her players.
Here goes the spin.
Yeah, she that actually was a good example of expert handling of her player Jeff Sneider there.
And we are on Nicole Kidman.
Hey, what you're saying there?
Seconds to the side,
Yeah,
starting now.
what you're saying there? Stop it. Just spin the wheel.
Good. Let's do it. Let's do
I'm
Nikki.
feeling good too. You got this.
Ah, okay.
Clear your mind.
He's going with the Nikki Kids. He's going with Nikki Kids.
Here's the thing. At work today, they were playing the movie Moulin Rouge. Let's see if a question pops up about that, since I saw that at work today.
Paul. All right. So, Jeff, you're going to get 4 questions.
Also, not a fan of that movie.
Kidman films. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Here you go. Here's the first one. In what 2014 family film
Moulin Rouge
can you find Nicole Kidman playing the villainous taxidermist named Melissa
Paddington.
Clyde?
Paddington.
That's correct.
Wait, she was a villainous taxidermist? I need to watch Paddington. That sounds fantastic.
Kidman.
That's a great movie.
Tom Cruise.
It's great.
Ron Howard.
Far and away.
Ron Howard.
That's correct for 2 more points.
I've been studying some Tom Cruise for a particular reason, which we'll mention later.
Co-stars with Nicole Kidman in the films Before I Go to Sleep, The Railway Man, and Genius.
Colin Firth.
For 2 more points, Jeff Sneider having a just fire.
Tom Cruise,
here.
not Colin
Here is
Firth.
The last question. Here it is. All right. In what 1990s film does Kidman play Suzanne Stone, a local newswoman who conspires to have her husband
To Die For?
I'm telling you, Christian, you're giving way too much away in these questions, but it's To Die For.
Yeah, it's Christian's fault.
You're pulling up.
It's completely Christian's fault on that.
You know, if you want, do you want to challenge your correct answer?
Oh, it's just like Suzanne Stone. I you know, like a good trivia player would have known it right off then. I didn't need newswoman, but okay, thank you.
Perfect. All right. Well,
We'll
thank
see
you.
how we can do round 3 different, Jeff.
All right. Well, Jeff Sneider clears it up there.
Show me I can beat him.
Let's point this out. That means that someone would score a touchdown and go, you know, it shouldn't have been that easy to score a touchdown. I mean, I'm just saying.
They really let me run that entire field just now.
They let me run back that ball the entire length of the football field.
Meanwhile, PJ's over there going, Jeff,
shut up and get your points.
Stop it.
I got no problem with that.
You got the question right.
I love Jeff Sneider still, though.
Like, boy, let's go spin this wheel and get some money.
Jeff is the only person that can get away with some of the things that Jeff gets away with.
Yeah.
Again, like Christian talked about, him doing his garage sale at the Fan Expo at Spectacular was wonderful.
Okay, but I'm still kind of upset that I didn't get the Back to the Future shoes and Late to the Party did.
I mean, why don't we just do the Diva show? You know what I'm saying? We
Audrey
got
Hepburn.
Kidman versus
Oof.
I feel good about this.
Oh, man.
I kind of like it. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh. Ooh.
And we're gonna drop Winston out. And
He's just flexing now.
Jeff Sneider.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get
real
4
quick.
questions, Paul. in
I
the
like
realm
Moulin Rogue
of
One.
Audrey Hepburn.
Moulin Rouge
All
one.
right, one of the best
Rouge
ever
one.
do it.
Whatever.
And now
I like Rogue One.
a really good player.
If it was Rogue, the U would be on the other side of the G.
Oyama fields some questions. Here we go, Audrey.
No, it
Hepburn.
wouldn't.
Like the X-Men character. You're gonna question me about an X-Men
Paul,
name?
what
It
actor
would- it would.
plays Hamilton Bartholomew, a CIA administrator in Charade.
I don't know. Let's go back to spelling Rogue. It's Rogue with a G after.
We got it. You're right. You're good.
He was a grumpy young man back then. That is correct for 2 points.
Walter Matthau.
Starting out really well here.
Wow.
15-11.
All right, your next query for 2 more points. What 1960s film got Audrey Hepburn her last Oscar nomination?
Wait Until Dark.
And not always great advice, but it is 2 points.
All right.
Oof.
Tie it up.
All right. Your next
Man,
question,
come on,
Audrey
Oyama.
Hepburn's character suffered
Jeez.
From what disability in the thriller?
Wait.
Wait Until
Are you
Dark?
kidding?
Wait, what?
That is correct. And Paulo Oyama.
Oh,
this is
Snyder's
gonna
gonna-
come up.
Question for
This
question.
Snyder's
is gonna
gonna
come
upset
up.
This last one for another
Yeah.
perfect round.
You know
2.
Snyder's upset about that
Here
one.
we go. All right, Paul, in the world of Audrey Hepburn, which film in Audrey Hepburn's
Wait Until Dark.
was the only one?
That'd be funny. It's not. There's no
My
way.
Fair Lady.
The Rain on Spain and
Yeah.
yeah, it's 2
Yeah.
points. That's correct.
All right. So Paul Oyama goes up by 2, keeps that 2-point lead. Also clears the board with Hepburn, both
Jeez.
Sneider and Oyama clearing the board, having a great. And it is so far just that strength.
Have we ever seen that before, though?
It's
Right now,
not.
obviously,
It's not
Sneider's
Oyama
mark,
that's
number 3 round
beating
3.
Snyder at this moment.
Round
The game
number
is beating up
3.
Snyder at
Here's
this
that
moment.
question difficulty intense.
Yeah. Have we
Very competitive.
ever seen 2 questions in a row about the same movie?
I don't know.
Pick the same numbers as your
Not like
opponent,
that.
because each number corresponds. to a category.
That's a little weird.
Schmoedown know-how.
I mean, good questions. The questions themselves are good. It's just completely the hey,
how they're
this is
ordered.
where this. Yeah, this is just how the question happened to pop up.
Paul Oyama has a 2-point lead. Over
That's
Snyder.
interesting.
Very well.
Yeah,
Both
I'm
sides.
curious as to what the chat had to say about that when this premiered live.
So you can give us your 3 lucky numbers first. From 1 to 20, what feels fortunate?
I'm gonna go 4, 7.
I mean, for me, like, regardless, I'm still impressed because I honestly I know nothing about that movie.
Yeah,
3-11, 16.
3-11 and 6.
So regardless, for me, that was.
All right. So we're gonna give
a lot.
Winston. You got 60 seconds to talk to Oyama starting now.
I love musicals. I'm just like, of course, even if you love a certain
Going to the
genre of movie, there's certain ones of those genres you don't like. I'm not a fan of Moulin Rouge.
You are killing it right now. And
It's already more than we scored last time.
Creole Lady Marmalade.
I was expecting
Ugh.
seeing 2 people.
Marmalade,
I was
Paddington?
expecting this to be like,
Yeah.
oh, and I'm glad that it is. But keep it cool. We got this pimping. Let's go get them.
He just did his Cat Williams impression.
Jeff Winston's talking about
Keep it pimpin'.
Yeah. He does that on SEN Live all the time.
No problem. You have 2 of your JTEs left. Take your time. That's just what it is. Honestly, do this for Boston. Do this for us. You got this absolutely in the 5-pointers where I know that you're going to crush them anyway. You feeling okay right now, honey?
That's right. I'm a man living in my father's home back in Boston.
Right.
I love this match.
Things that we need to know. Also, for the very first time ever, I went a perfect round 2 with Oyama's questions. So that just shows you what happened there with this category.
Oh, well, all right. Well, Roxy,
Whoa.
Good on you.
gonna move both you guys out of the way. All right. Jeff Snyder's gonna try to avoid the TKO here.
That's actually really good for Roxy because she is self-professed terrible at trivia.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Jeff Snyder chose number 3, and Jeff, you chose the category.
That means there are
of
categories out there that Roxy could
action
actually do
adventure.
pretty good at.
Here you go. Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Harry Tacker, a family man who is secretly
True Lies.
Which action film?
True Lies.
2 points, tying up the game. And now we bounce
Yep.
back to Paul Oyama, who took number 4.
He did that, Christian, and number 4 corresponds to the heart-wrenching, action-filled category of war movies. All right, Paul, and your question for 2 points and to regain a 2-point lead. Name one of the two major war films released in 1998 that competed against each other at the Oscars for
Saving
Best
Private Ryan.
Picture.
I'm going to go with my favorite one, The Thin Red Line.
And Saving Private Ryan, that is correct.
Oh, it is Saving Private Ryan. Okay, I thought Saving Private Ryan came out in '97 and was at the Oscars at '98.
That's what it was.
Number 11 was
No, came out in '98.
All right, Jeff, your
Oh,
three-pointer.
I thought it said
in the
Oscars in
realm of
'98.
DiCaprio films. Here you go. 3 points. Edward Zwick directed Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Connelly in which film?
Blood Diamond.
Yeah.
For 3 points. Jeff Sneider going back and forth. And now we see ourselves 2019 as Paul Oyama chose number 7.
Yeah, he did, Christian, and this corresponds to he did well with Audrey Hepburn movies. Let's see how he does with musicals.
All right, here it is.
And this is a 3-point question, Paul. Regain your lead. Who stars as Victoria Grant in 1982's Victor Victoria?
I love musicals, but I'm not familiar with.
He knows musicals.
Julie Andrews. Okay. Well, I feel really bad because I do love Julie Andrews.
Well, you got another Julie Andrews musical to watch now.
Apparently.
Oyama. However, if he misses it, Paul Oyama will advance to
So, a deer, a female deer.
Please stop.
question number 16. That would be Jodie Foster films. Jodie Foster. All right, here is your question.
Silence of the Lambs.
All right. In the film The Brave One, who plays Detective Sean Mercer?
Jodie Foster.
Investigating the vigilante crimes.
I can't remember who else was in that movie.
Oyama knows it.
Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Second one. In The Brave One, who plays Detective Sean Mercer?
He doesn't know
who
it.
is investigating the vigilante crimes.
There's Oyama taking the victory sip.
Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Last one. In The Brave One, who plays Detective Sean Mercer, who is investigating the vigilante crimes?
I can't remember.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Terrence Howard.
And that is correct, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Christian.
Oh, Christian just played into exactly what Sneider was doing too.
Yeah.
To answer his 5-pointer.
He knew it.
We're in the same
Now,
spot.
granted, he could have also
Oyama
just
hits
been
it.
doing all that just to
He
make sure
wins.
he knew it. But
If he
yeah,
loses, if he misses, then he will lose, and Sneider will advance to the next round. Mark,
but he's forcing Oyama to answer his 5.
15.
He did do that, Christian, and that corresponds
It's good.
to
That's a good match.
Category of, it's not musicals this time. It is Martin Scorsese films.
Snyder's fighting back.
I call him Marty. And Paul, for 5 points.
Marta Sazy.
And to advance
I just learned some of those last night.
your question. Name both of the main
Oh,
gangs
geez.
Oh.
of the film Gangs of New York.
It's not the Crips and Bloods.
No, God.
5,
It's just funny because this is red and you're wearing blue.
2.
Yeah.
Repeat the question.
First one.
Uh,
2 left.
the Sharks and the Jets. I don't know.
No. Good Lord. I'll
The
know it once I
Montagues
hear
and
it.
and the Capulets. I don't know.
No,
4,
I'll know it once I hear it.
2.
Repeat the question.
I won't.
Yeah,
I've seen that movie once. It was good, but I've only seen it once.
Granted, like what I just said, they're stupid. I'll know it when I hear it. Yeah, of course. But no, what I'm saying is like,
Gangs of New York.
if there was a multiple choice, I'd be able to get it on multiple choice.
Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Last one.
Oh, he had one more.
Does he actually know it though?
For 5 points and the win, name both of the main gangs.
I mean, it would be
depicted in
hilarious if he's
Scorsese film,
doing this
Gangs
to
of New York.
rub it in.
The Dead Rabbits and the 5 points.
And your winner,
Who got the 5 points?
to the next round.
Love these. Oh, revenge is had.
The answer was either Dead Rabbits or the Natives or Barbarians.
Ooh, he was close.
That was the answer there. Jeff Sneider taking the victory here from.
He was
Paul.
close.
Yeah, he was really
Wow.
The victory it was. Oyama had a perfect game. For the
close. Warriors, come out and play.
Yeah.
And Jeff, how are you feeling right now? Did you think he had it?
Well, you know, sometimes to answer the question, you just got to answer it correctly.
It just went right out the window. I'm stunned that I won that. I think that was a really, really difficult question. One of the hardest 5-pointers I've heard in a long time.
You would have had to have probably seen Gangs of New York multiple times.
Absolutely would have earned this victory.
I've only seen it once.
It's a tough
Or at the very least, you just watched it right before this.
That too.
Roxy, how you feeling? 3 points taking over Swag and Oyama, who was a big favorite after his last match against Marisol, and hell, you saw why the way he played. How do you feel about this victory?
Each of these guys got one question wrong this entire game. That is why they are where they are. Jeff just ended up knowing his 5-pointer, which is what I thought it was going to come down to at the end of the day. I'm so proud of him for getting his head back in the game. I know that sometimes Jeff can get down on himself for missing one question, but he didn't, and he was able to hit every question from that point forward. So I honestly, like I said, Oyama will have his time again. He will. It's just not now. This is Jeff's time, and Jeff is going to win the entire tournament. I've been saying that from the beginning.
Roxy, is there a bit of a sweet revenge, not only for the New York loss, but for the fact that you had the, that L you're able to get back?
100%. I've been sick and tired of looking at this L, and I cannot wait. The number one thing I want to do when COVID is over is take that out of my drawer and hand it back to Winston Marshall. Like, I will be at your house outside your door standing with that L until you come receive it. Thank you, friend.
All right, so go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Jeff, you're now advancing in the tournament, and you're going to have quite a formidable challenge ahead of you.
Oh, he's got to take on Mark Riley.
Stature of Mark Riley. So people.
That'll be fun. That's kind of like a.
Mark Yodi Riley.
That's kind of like a throwback type match.
Yeah.
Feel going up against
two old school veterans.
Mark Riley is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the
facing off against each other again.
Underestimate him, but at the same time, I've always felt like I was better than him. Like that. To be named after me. Forget the Yodi Award. It should be the Sneider Award.
Yeah, but did you go off of like actual movie trivia skill, or are you just going with fellow Bostonites?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both. Actually, probably a little bit of both.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
Sneider is good. I mean, we just watched it.
Now we have
you could be really good at movie trivia and be a fellow masshole.
Pick up another big 3 points, and
massive.
Now I know you don't like to.
Oh, massive! Exactly, Roxy.
And Barney and Finstock right now are thanking you and are happy right now because you have stopped the swag train for at least a moment. As the round 3 happens, because Jeff Sneider's still in this tournament and he is now getting himself to the 3rd rounds. All right, Jeff Sneider and Roxy, congratulations on a very hard-fought victory here against Paul Oyama, and I'm looking forward to the rubber match.
Okay, both. I mean, that's cool.
Very soon.
Well, there you go. He just gave it to you. All right, so now we're going to remove this.
Betting on Sneider and Draco.
And now
and Draco's out.
Marshall. Paul Oyama. Paul, I got to start with you. It's one of these things, man. I can't imagine that you're really. I mean, obviously the loss stings, but I can't imagine that you're bummed with yourself at all with how you played. You had a perfect game going into that question and just missed it by one name.
No, I'm still bummed with myself. I mean, when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter how well you played before. The whole point is to outplay your opponent, you know. So if he would have scored one, and I scored 2, I'd feel better about that than losing this way. Yeah, it just sucks to know all the questions and then get to a 5-pointer and just get one that you can't quite pull out. Obviously, I had the one game, couldn't get them both. Yeah, it's just a frustrating thing when you feel like you're that close and it's within your grasp again. It wasn't happening today.
Yeah, Winston, so you just saw Paul take a very tough loss. He played incredible, but we saw him take a tough loss last year, and he completely changed his outlook on how he approaches the Schmoedown and maybe even life. Do you think that's going to happen after this loss, or do you think he's staying on the straight and narrow?
I mean, I think Paul's going to do what he does best. He's going to evolve. I think regardless of how this played out, I think this is going to put a different fire in him. So if we see that bad boy come back, that's one thing. If we see him continue to go on this calm route, that's another. I think that all this is going to do is take Paul to the next level. And I'll be honest, man, like I was completely just dumbfounded and shocked by this. And just because I thought he had it. I thought he was messing with this. And I haven't seen games in New York in a while. So when he said it, he said it with such confidence. Like, done. And then it was announced, and it really was a shot to the jaw. I think the worst thing that came out of this is we lost to Jeff's chest hairs.
I get it. Does it also sting a little? You had rock stars, and you still, I mean, point wise, you still do.
Some glorious chest hairs to lose to.
Trading back forth.
I mean, just saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not worried about the rock stars. I haven't. I think what the concern here is the people that actually matter right now, the big dogs. This puts us at a disadvantage, but we still are out here doing what we do best. The Swagathon 2020 is far from over, and I just, I think all this is going to do is just like everything else. It's going to piss off everybody in this faction, and it's going to allow us to rally around each other and to keep on pushing.
All right. Thank you, Winston. And Paul, last thing, I mean, I don't know. It hasn't really been decided yet, but the team's tournament is obviously around the corner. We don't know yet who's going to be in from Swag. It hasn't been announced. But if Winston, let me ask you two sides of this. If Winston decides that you and Lon will be in the tournament, how do you feel about that? And if he decides that maybe you guys should step back, how would you also deal with that?
It's always about what's best for the faction. After losing this match today here, I'm going to go help the rest of my faction mates with the rest of the tournament or the rest of the match prep for the rest of the year. Like, this is not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We're all committed to each other. So if he chooses us, I'll be stoked. Obviously, that'll be great. I think me and Lana are playing really well right now. But if he chooses someone else, that's okay too. And it's one of those things, of course, I want to compete. Of course, I always want to be the person in the ring. But at the end of the day, it's about what's best for all of us. And it's not a selfish thing. It's about us coming together to boost each other up. And that's one of this faction. What's made this faction so successful. That we
That's my team. That's my quarterback.
Well done. Well done. Well done, Garth.
Well done. All right. Winston Marshall and Paul Oyama. Again, guys, hell of a match. Paul, great match just today. Just didn't go Swag's way, but they will be back. We know they will be back. And Mark, we will be back because this tournament, it just keeps on moving. Round number 2, moving along. And the Rock Stars advance Jeff Sneider, 25-22. And remember, Jeff Sneider this season has been phenomenal. Jeff Sneider has 2 wins, and he beat Robert Montano. He just beat Paul Oyama, and he barely lost to Ethan Irwin, who you saw what Ethan did a couple weeks back against Dan Merle, and he defeated John Roca. And Sneider had Irwin dead to rights. He just, the same thing that happened to Oyama today happened to Sneider in that Irwin match. He got a 5-pointer. He just didn't know, and he lost the match. But nonetheless, Jeff Sneider is now advancing, and he will be a threat going into that next round. And the Rockstars are looking pretty hopeful.
I mean, it's good. These are the points I said at the top. These are the points the Rockstars needed.
Yeah, and I do.
He loves loves downplaying his preparation tactics, but
Garth
is going to bring everything.
Garth. There's way too much creativity in just one gentleman there. I mean, I'm just saying.
Look,
save some for the rest of us.
And
save some, spread it out, dude.
Spread the love.
I think Oyama is going to help out his faction. I think Team Swag is going to be better for it. And despite Winston Marshall going all TO there on us at the end, I don't think Oyama is going to be a problem in the locker room in the slightest. I think, if anything, a lot of Team Swag's win for the rest of the season might be a direct result of Mr. Oyama's contribution. So 2 great competitors here, 1 great match, and 2 announcers who kept their cool admirably.
I just never knew there'd be 2 TO references made in the same season, but here we go. So, guys, thank you.
New era, baby.
New era. So, thanks again for joining us here on the show. Jeff Sneider taking the win for the Rockstars and continuing on the tournament. So, make sure you guys are subscribed if you aren't already. Join the Facebook group. Big conversations happening there all the time. You can keep up with the community, and don't forget Patreon. Obviously, if you're not a part of Patreon, you should be. We treat it like a streaming service. Make sure at the $10 tier you get the most.
I always love hearing that now.
Who's popping on?
Get any of the paper.
Someone's gonna pop on.
You can get any of the exhibition matches we do, any throwdowns we do, the paper.
I love it when people like surprisingly pop on. I think that's fantastic.
They're all there.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. If you can join the Patreon.
It's great TV. It's great TV when someone
it is. It's
surprisingly pops on.
We'll see you.
It's absolutely great when you're not expecting it.
Yeah. That being said, we have a special guest. And we were a little bit quiet there at the end because we may or may not have a little bit of egg on our face at this point. Let's bring on our special guest. Oh, look who it is.
Well, if it isn't the Sin of Fanatics boys.
Here we are again.
I watched you watch that. You didn't think I knew that answer about Terrence Howard?
Well, no. Here's the thing, and I'll quote like what they were saying in the chat that like did you Ben Bateman that or did you know?
Oh, look at the time. Look at
yeah. Wow, just left me here. This is awkward. Par for this channel, of course. But here's the thing. I always like to know. I like to know, but I'm okay if I don't. Did you know that the whole time, or did you have a proper use of those JTE rules to hammer that answer out?
You guys are getting the exclusive on this. I had a good idea, but I'll be honest, I knew it was a person of color. But the thing about the Brave one is that I don't know if it's her husband or her boyfriend, is also a person of color. It's Naveen Andrews from Lost. So I was like, which one, like, was it? You know, I just had to make sure that I wasn't confusing Naveen and Terrence Howard. But I had a good feeling that it was that I had it.
So it was what I said the same time. So the first time, obviously, I said I don't think he knows it. And the second time was he's just trying to make sure he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I did it for the drama and maybe to put Oyama on tilt a little. And Christian, you're right, Fed. It was like Stockton and Malone, like we were on the same page. And he went with it, and I loved what he did with it because I wasn't even like paying attention to that in the moment. But you know, like I said afterwards, Paul got a really tough question. Like there's no question my 5-pointer was easier than Paul's. But on the other hand, you know, like you said during the match, the 2 wait until dark questions, like. I don't watch a lot of old movies. Wait Until Dark is one of my like absolute favorite movies. I've seen it at least a dozen times. I saw it on stage, in fact, with Quentin Tarantino and Marissa Tomei starring.
Nice.
And when I met Tarantino, okay, at the end of the movie, because they did it on stage, of the play on stage, because there's no, anyways, they use matches, right? And when an actor uses matches on stage, the matches are like it's multiple matches taped together to make sure they get a good flame, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that matchbook was left on the stage when I was a 12, 13-year-old kid, and I snatched it and I showed it to him 10 years later when I interviewed him for like Death Proof, and he was like, "Holy shit! These are like, you know, the matches I used to hold each night on stage for Wait Until Dark." So, anyways, the fact that he got 2 Wait Until Dark questions, I was just like, okay, you know, that's just the way the game goes.
I can understand if you get more like 2 questions throughout the game about the same movie, but back to back, that's never happened before, has it? I mean, from your understanding, at least.
I don't know. I think it's possible. I definitely don't want to say it's never happened before, but it's certainly rare and unlikely. And it just like, for me, it was just like, oh, that's the Audrey Hepburn movie I know best. Like, even if I had gotten Audrey Hepburn, I could have like eased my way out of this category. But again, the fact that he spun Audrey Hepburn, stuck with it, then went 8-0, like he knows his stuff.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. I mean, like you look at that situation, like, I mean, I guess you were watching this entire time where it's like, man, this luck is just playing in Paul Oyama's favor this entire time, and then you just fought back right at the end.
Well, that's the thing. Like, as great as Paul played, and he did play great. Like, I don't want to mince words. He lost. He lost. Like, he was half a question away from a perfect game. So was I. In fact, I probably, when you go back and look, I probably did more reporting than anyone else in the entire world on The Strangers 2. I probably broke the director of that movie. I just had that's one of those movies that they just stuck like a Pray at Night thing at the very 3 months before the movie came out, and I totally blanked on it. I'll cop to it. I blanked on it. Obviously, you saw the game tape, but I was that close from a perfect game.
Hey, I said They Come Home, and I'm very much a horror fan, and I didn't know that one.
It was just
now that I hear Pray at Night, I was like, oh yeah.
You know, and I even went to the whole Strangers 2 Pray at Night fucking trailer park thing. It was they had an elaborate setup. I brought my girlfriend too. I interviewed the director there. Like, if you can name the director of The Strangers 2, I'll pay you $1 million.
I couldn't even name the movie.
There's no way Paul Oyama would get the director.
Give me a second.
I could get the director of it, but I could not get the friggin' subtitle.
I just want to make sure you said $1 million, right?
I believe it's Johan Roberts.
Okay.
The guy who did 47 Meters Down.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyways, so I understand what people are saying with the 5-pointer maybe being a little bit easier, but I don't know. That's the game.
Did you know Oyama's 5-pointer?
No.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
And I may have gotten Dead Rabbits, but I certainly wouldn't have gotten the Natives. That's a tough one. Natives or Barbarians. That's really tricky.
That's the thing. I've seen that movie. I think both of us saw that movie once. I can't remember that the gangs that they actually did name the gangs in that. Maybe I need to watch it again. I remember liking it.
So as soon as he said 5 points, I was like, well, that's not. I don't think that's right, because that's where everything takes place. But yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's one of those movies. If you want to know that answer to that, you have to have seen Gangs of New York at least a couple times, or have just watched it.
It's what everybody said the day that the brackets were released, guys. This was a matchup between two of the game's absolute heavyweights. The fact that it came in the second round is not an error on either of our parts. That's a scheduling error. I feel like this should have been an Elite 8 or Final 4 matchup. And I look forward to my match against Mark Riley. I think I stand a fighting chance against him. I know he's been playing really well.
Yeah.
And but it's going to be another battle.
It's kind of like what we said at the top of this video, is that this is essentially your first match against Oyama was a live event and very much worthy of a live event. So was this match. This was a live event worthy match in the middle of a tournament.
Yeah,
that's how good this tournament is as far as the lineup of the brackets and everything right now.
Well, whether I win or lose, I always aim to entertain. But I definitely choked in New York, and it's haunted me for a full year. It's been a year. I had my whole family in from New York, and that's a rough night. I'd love to have it back, but tonight almost made it worth it. That sweet taste of revenge.
If only there was a belt still attached to this game. That would have been fantastic.
I got a long way to go before I get a belt. I'm not even, thinking of that. I'm just like the Patriots, just one game at a time. I'm focused on Mark Riley. If I can get past him, we'll see. I mean, this has been a tournament of upsets, so you never know who's waiting for you in the next round.
Now, here's a question I actually have for you is, earlier I said that coming after the first round or out of the first round, the way that Roxy approached the situation with you as far as like how it goes, we were saying that was Roxy's like appropriate way of managing you at that time. You think? Would you agree to that? Would you say that was
Roxy
she did exactly?
Does not get the credit that she deserves? Okay, because like I think it was Christian or someone has said she is the only person who could manage me. I mean, Tom cannot manage his gang full of personalities on that team. As you see, they just have no chemistry. They're completely out of whack over there. So don't give me the Tom argument. Winston, nice guy. Here's the chest here, buddy. I know you like it. And manager of the year, though, I don't see it. I don't think that I just don't think he knows the game well enough. Roxy has been around since the beginning, it feels like, or at least for a long time. And she did a great job of keeping me focused, calming me down. And it paid off because if I had just dropped my guard for one question, it could be a different result.
And I think going into that, when you're talking about manager of the year, a lot of people I know, especially like from the fans' perspective, because all we see is what's put in the video in front of us. We don't see what's going on behind the scenes. So therefore, you look at managers, say like Winston's done a very good job this year. Dagnino has done a good job this year, up to a certain point. I know
they've done a good job, but manager of the year job.
But the thing is you look at it from who is getting wins. If your player is winning, therefore you must be a good manager. Which here's the thing: behind the scenes, you could be a fantastic manager, and it just isn't your day. It could just be the luck of the questions.
Let me ask you guys: when's the last time Bill Belichick won Coach of the Year in the NFL?
We don't watch
very
sports.
Good. We had a very good question.
It's probably been 15 years or 17 years since this guy won the award. He's been the best coach in football the entire friggin' time. So it's just that they don't want to. You got to spread the love. You got to mix it up. But
yeah,
Roxy deserves it.
And that's the thing. I feel like there's a certain amount of fans. I know us. I'll say, for example, can see that what the managers are bringing, even though they're not producing results, you could still see the managers are fantastic with their players behind the scenes. That they're still the training and everything is still fantastic, it's still top of the line. And unfortunately, when it comes down to the voting at the end of the year for the awards, you might run the risk of a lot of fans just don't see that or even know, right. And it's hard to convey that idea without the wins on the record.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. They do the stuff that doesn't show up in the box score, so to speak. I mean, basically, what would it take? What would it take for Roxy to win Manager of the Year, for me and Mark to win for the odd couple to win the teams tournament? Like, if we come out on top in the teams tournament, does that put her in the conversation? If I go on to win this singles tournament, knock on wood, where's some wood? Then would
you can hit my head if you want.
Would she be in the conversation then? Like, is it all on my shoulders? Because if it is, I'm going to do everything I can for that girl.
That's how a lot of fans are going to end up voting when it comes time to do the vote. They're going to vote based on did you make the run fully through the singles, and how did you guys do in the teams?
All right. Well, then I hope if I'm lucky enough for even to make a run beyond Mark Riley, that it reflects well on her.
Real quick, I know the way the time works. This is one of those that feel free. You don't have to answer, but have you filmed your match with Mark Riley already?
No, I'm a busy guy. I told Christian, I can't be doing this every week. So he's been very generous with the schedule, particularly with the Jewish holidays. I think they even asked me to film that on Friday. And it was like Rosh Hashanah. I was like, I can't do it. So that's coming up very soon. And can't wait to get into it with him.
That's gonna be like my brother was saying earlier. That's kind of like a throwback to like the earlier days of the Schmoedown. You're getting like two veterans who were major players at that time coming in and playing in this tournament. That's fantastic lineup and match.
I think his day has passed, but you know what? I don't want to just count him out because I know, no one's been around this game longer than me except for him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Very few have, at least. I guess Roka has. Roka's been around since the beginning of time.
That's one of those, like, I kind of wish, yeah, exactly. Nail on the head. That I almost kind of wish that would be funny if we could somehow get back to like the older studio look and have y'all compete in that studio just for.
I don't have one of those cool green screens that people have.
Yeah.
I can't really do anything, but that would be fun. Christian can send me one. He should really invest in that.
The green screen.
If we're gonna continue being in the virtual sphere for a while, then yeah, that might be a good investment.
I could be playing from outer space or something. God, I'm in the middle of a volcano under a waterfall.
Yeah, I beat you, Tom Cruise. I'm in space first.
Yeah. So like our apartment here, this entire apartment that both me and my brother live in is essentially our studio. We don't have our living room set up like a normal living room with a TV and couch.
You guys are in separate rooms right now filming this?
Yeah. We're in the same apartment. Yeah. I'm in my room, he's in his. Yeah.
I see.
So in our living room, we have he's going to do that for the gag of it. But in our living room, I have one entire wall. Yeah, there he is. One entire wall is a green screen. We have a green sheet on one whole wall that we film on. So we can do green screen stuff and I can key it out when editing. But yeah, that's our whole apartment is set up like a studio. Our bedroom is almost the only thing that's not really studio-like, except for like my desk. I have a camera and like the key lights and everything. I have
leave some time.
I have a reflector over here.
Leave some room for romance. A candle or something,
Well, I go based off the idea like, hey, I film stuff, so you want to come over, which is all kinds of creepy that I have cameras in my room. So yeah, you're probably right. Leave room for romance. I don't need cameras left turn. I'll put the lens cap on. I'm good. Just.
Okay, guys, if y'all have any questions for Jeff while we got him here, drop them in the chat, drop them in the Streamlabs. You know how it works. And
this went off the rails real quick.
I'm trying to bring it back.
Any other questions for me, fellas? I just wanted to pop in, give you, razz you a little bit because you are two of my favorite reactors.
Well, thank you, sir, for popping on. I don't think we've ever. We've had some people like I know we've reached out and invited like some people like, hey, are you available? Come pop on and join us for this because it would be fun to have like another Schmoedown competitor weigh in on this match, even though like they have no horse in the race for it. This is the first time we've had a Schmoedown competitor who was actually in the match going, hey, I'm available. Let me pop on real quick. Like, oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I know. I like force my way onto your show. I'm like, I'm coming on. I'll be there
anytime. If you happen to see that we're talking about your match, come on. Last night we had. So this has been a week of. This is so far a week of first for us. Last night we had while replaying Bibiani versus Barbarian, we had both Bibiani and the Barbarian on at the same time, which. That was a blast.
That's pretty cool. You should get Bateman on for my match against Riley.
Get Bateman on?
Yeah. He's a nice guy.
We absolutely love Bateman. He's actually given us some really good like business behind the scenes, some like business knowledge and stuff. So we absolutely love Bateman. But tomorrow night we are going to have. Sorry, this is sounding like a plug. But tomorrow night, another night of first, we have Adam Collins is going to be on here for his match, and we have his manager Shannon Barney at the same time. So we're going to get that.
Who's he playing?
Who's she playing?
I don't know. Who is? I'm sorry. Who is Collins playing?
He's playing. Is it Lon?
Yeah, it's Lon.
Oh, that's going to be a good match.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've had Lon on here before, and Lon is awesome.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, Lon's such a great person. But this is the first time we're getting the player with their manager, so we can kind of hear behind the scenes, like how was that interaction during the match. I feel like that's going to be a good one to have as well.
Yeah, have fun with him. He's, you know what, Lon is like the guy in the Schmoedown who I would secretly like to hang out with more.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I'm super. Here's the thing. I don't know.
We get along.
He's been hanging out with Video Drew a lot lately, and I don't know who I'm more jealous of because I kind of want to hang out with both of them.
Well, Drew's a glorious weirdo. God bless her.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for having me on. Are there questions? I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just a swag
wins again shirt. I mean,
yeah, I'd buy it.
I've been looking into. I've been looking into merch for the Cinefanatics, for future reference. Apparently, you can go to TeePublic and just stick anything on a shirt and they'll sell it. So, I mean, you could quickly design like a swag Sneider wins again shirt, throw it up on TeePublic, and it's available for sale like tomorrow.
Who else does swag manage who's still in the tournament?
Liz is still in the tournament.
Yeah. Liz is going up against Bibiani.
Should I have to look at the
yeah,
bracket?
I'm looking at the bracket, which
you guys would know all the rosters, huh?
We try.
We're trying. We try, but I mean, working full time during the day.
Okay.
Like,
who's on the bracket?
Let me see. So Andreko's out.
We're talking about swag.
Yeah. Oh, from swag. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Lon is still in. Liz Shannon Miller's still in.
I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah, because you just knocked out Oyama. So
okay. I just want to see if I could get maybe revenge on Winston at some point for that chest hair comment, because I'll go full exposure.
I think technically both of them are on the left side of the bracket. I think you're on the right side. So
yeah.
Well, that may be a tall order, but
you would meet them in the finals.
that'll be tough. We'll see.
Anyway,
yeah.
Thanks for popping on.
Have a good night. Thanks for reacting. Later.
See ya.
Yeah. Good night. Anyways, yeah. So that wasn't planned.
That was fun.
That was fantastic.
No, that was totally planned.
Okay. Oh, my mouth. I got something in my eye. So fantastic. Good on Sneider for winning that. So eager to see where that's going to go. Guys, that's going to roughly do it for tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's really anything else stuck. Yeah, we got things to plug. Of course, make sure you're following us on social media. We are at Cinefanatics MLP. Like I said earlier, we had just crossed over 200 followers, which is fantastic. So 200 followers at Cinefanatics MLP. Check out down below here. I just turned on. You've got Robert Adams MLP, Chris Adams MLP. Hop on our Twitter and follow us on there as well, because we are approaching 200 on that as well. Which, if you don't know, we're the Cinefanatics. So if Cinefanatics is over 200, we should be over 200 as well. So make sure you're following us individually also for all of your individual content needs.
Good Lord, dude. you got to get off the same thing.
Yeah, Brandon, you know how to reach us. Let us know if you ever want to come on and say something. We'll give you at least 80% of the time. I don't know.
I know he's good with 7 minutes, so.
Oh, 7 minutes. Oh, definitely. Yeah, make sure you're following us there. That was so rough. Jake would have loved that comment. I was just saying.
No kidding, Brandon. I love you. You can come on anytime.
Absolutely love Brandon Hanna. Speaking of Jake, he's over on Call to Action, that other channel that does Schmoedown related content. They are doing this Friday the last general standing. It's going to be kind of like a free-for-all presented by Call to Action with the members of the generals tier of the Action Army. If you are at the generals tier, you are able to participate in this free-for-all of movie trivia, battle royale knowledge. That is this coming Friday. We will be participating in that because both myself and my brother are on the general tier as of recently. So make sure you come back. What are you doing?
I'm doing my best Alex Shawshek impression.
It's the other finger, but I mean...
Well, whatever. The image just flipped for me.
Okay. Anyways, come back on Friday to call to action. That's going to be a lot of fun because, you know, I haven't really been able to play movie trivia in a while. So there's a lot of people I would like to defeat in that. So come back, watch that, join the Generals tier so we can defeat you as well.
Real quick. So Garth is telling Brandon only if they're actually playing in a match. So Brandon says, I guess I'll have to play in a match then. And that is true. There's a teams tournament coming up, and guess who's got a match in the teams tournament?
Oh, yeah.
With Brandon and Jader. That would be fun. Let's keep that one in mind, huh?
Yeah. So, yeah, anyways, Friday, that's coming. As for us, make sure you hop on patreon.com/CineFanax at our $10 tier. You'll be able to participate in our movie watch-alongs. This coming Saturday, we are doing the watch-along of Inception. It should be a lot of fun because I'm really bad ADD and I get lost in that movie constantly. So this will be fun to hey, what? What's happening? Oh, okay, they're in a dream.
Basically, what's happening on Saturday is you guys are going to watch me explain the movie to him while the movie's explaining the movie to him.
I mean, I know the movie. I've seen it a couple of times. I mean, I understand it, but still, it's going to be fun to kind of pick apart maybe just a little. We said that about Iron Man 2, and that actually ended up being a really good watch this last time. So, yeah, patreon.com/CineFanax. If you're on the $10 tier, you can join us for movie watch-alongs. Last week we did Iron Man 2. You'll be able to go back and watch that as well if you want to. This coming Saturday is Inception. So, yeah, hop on that. That will be great. And you'll be supporting a really good cause. Us. So
dream a little bigger, darling. Dream a little bigger, darling.
Again, tomorrow night for the Schmoedown replay, it will be Adam Collins versus Lon Harris. We will be joined by both Adam Collins and his manager, Shannon Barney. This is going to be a lot of fun because we've had neither one of them, and we haven't had a player and a manager at the same time. We're going to have some fun discussions tomorrow night.
Shannon's coming on. Where's that Simpsons meeting? I'm in danger.
Yeah. Oh, who knows what's going to happen? Because we're known as pretty good dungeon heads, and we also are fans of the Quirky Mercs. We haven't shown too much allegiance to the corruption, so who knows what's going to happen to that tomorrow night?
I mean, we tried to convince Shannon to draft us, but she ignored it.
Oh, who knows where we could go with this? So tomorrow night is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight. All of y'all in the chat, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for participating. This has been a fun match as well. Absolutely love y'all being in the chat. I expect Mike cameos with Shannon on camera. You know, it's potential. Every time there's a camera on in that household, Mike's got to be on it because Mike loves the camera. So who knows what's going to happen? Come back tomorrow night and you'll find out as well as us because we honestly know. So
your vocabularistics are amazing.
My vocabularistics are fantastic. It's almost midnight here. So moving on. That's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching, and a big shout out to Jeff Sneider. Thank you for participating in this, sir. You are welcome to crash our reactions at any time. Yep. So that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Y'all all have a great evening and good night.
See ya. Hey, does anybody